Hello and welcome to the Indicator Warehouse. This is Ray Burke with Ray's Reality Room here, and I am going to be covering a do's and don'ts of backtesting. What I have found is that after talking with so many traders and actually doing a lot of these mistakes myself early on, I have found that there are some real key ingredients to making a backtesting disaster. I'm going to have to say that the first thing that I notice with most traders is that they don't bother to document the results. They have no idea really where they've been, because what they tend to do is they just take this crosshair, and I'm using DTS as a backdrop here for an example. And what they'll do is they'll use their crosshair. So right here we've got the Eagle Trend Trader, and we have a short signal that sets up right here at this hash mark. And what they'll do is they'll put their crosshair on and they'll say, okay, well, I've entered here and it maybe goes to here, and I get out here and maybe my stop's up here. And they'll do the same thing with this signal, this signal, this signal. And really they don't have any solid idea of what they're really looking for. Now, we also need to keep in mind that any of the results that most traders, and I've been guilty of this myself as well, they don't document their backtesting. Now, the other thing with manually backtesting is this. When you manually backtest a system, it's very time consuming. You've got to go through each and every signal in order to get an accurate backtest. And the problem is, if you're not documenting your results, how do you really know how well the backtest even did? So if you don't have an accurate backtest result, how in the world can you expect to get positive results in a forward test? And by the way, I'm hoping it's a forward test in a simulated environment. Over the next couple of minutes, what I would like to do is I would like to show you a more accurate and easier, more time-effective way to actually backtest either your own strategy, a system strategy, whatever strategy you want to backtest. And it takes so much of the effort out of it, not to mention it's going to give you an accurate result. Alright, what I've done here is I've loaded Profit Finder. And the way I have this set up is I actually have it set up literally to take every signal that comes down the pike over the last 10 days. And today I have June 15th of 2012. So right now, the next thing that I'm going to do is just right out of the box, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click Performance. And there I have it. I'm $3,555 profitable. That's taking every single signal that is coming out of the gate with the Eagle Trend Trader. Okay, now you see that we're profitable per se with this situation, and the big question is, well, geez, Ray, how did you get there? As I stated, these are just the standard settings right out of the box that I used with Profit Finder. The only thing that I've changed is I've set my session to begin at 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, end at 9:30 Mountain Standard Time, and then begin my second session at noon Mountain Standard Time and end at 13:45 Mountain Standard Time. Now, as you saw, we were $3,500 and change profitable, taking every signal that comes down the pike. The next big question is, well, geez, can we do a little bit better than that? Let's go ahead and see. Okay, the first thing we can do is we can actually use a trailing stop. Now, I'm not going to go and get into the stops right now, but as you can see, we have Parabolic SAR, Super Trend, ATR, as well as fixed ticks available to us. Just to keep this video nice and simple, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to leave it set at none. Alright, the next thing that I've done is I've added a target exit plan. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use 3 contracts. We're going to take one off at 10 ticks. Let's take number 2 off at 20 ticks. And why not take number 3 off at 30 ticks? Now let's go ahead and make things interesting even more. As you can see, there is a break-even stop. and there's a break-even trigger distance. Why don't we go ahead and let's take this and let's make our break-even trigger distance 15 ticks just to see how it turns out. Now we're going to click apply. Okay, so we've made our changes. We've picked some profit targets, and we're actually going to go to break even after we've reached a certain profit target. Now let's see if it made any difference. Now, rather than have to go back through the entire chart again and go through all of it, all I did, as you saw, was I right-clicked, I clicked indicators, went to Profit Finder, and I just changed my parameters right here in my window. Really easy to do. Now again, I am taking the trades programmatically. I am taking every trade that comes down the pike. I am not cherry picking here. So we're going to go ahead, click apply again, click OK. Now let's calculate the performance and see if we do any better. Remember, we did $3,555 on our last back test. So let's see how we do. Click it. And that quick, well, it looks like we did a little bit better here. We did $3,902.50 on all those trades. So we actually did a little bit better on that one there. Now, the next question is, well, that's great, Ray. I can see all this documentation up here, but is there any way that I can save what I did, say, to a spreadsheet? Well, I'll tell you what, say no more. All we've got to do is reach down here and we want to click Write to CSV. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to Computer. We're going to go to the C drive. We're going to go to Users, Trader, My Documents, and then right in here we are going to find our Trade Records CSV. Go ahead and double click and you'll see that it brings us our spreadsheet. It's going to tell us our overall net profit, gross, all the way down the line. It's going to give us our total number of trades. It's going to give us the percentage profitable, and in this case we didn't do too bad. $3,900 and we're only 44% overall, and that was with the Eagle Trend Trader. Gives us our average winning trade, gives us our average losing trade. All this information is already documented for us, and really all we've got to do at this point is save the document to a folder, and we can go over it at a later time. We can compare it with other results, whatever we want to do. Well, I'm sure you can see the value in proper back testing. Like I said, it's one thing to go over a chart with your crosshair and try to commit this to memory. It's an entirely different ballgame when we actually use a tool and that actually documents, allows us to change parameters, and just overall make our back testing a lot easier than the standard handwriting down information and or going back and forth. You are going to see all of your results printed out here on the chart where you can actually see them on the chart rather than once again running willy-nilly with the crosshair back and forth the chart. I hope you found this video to be informative, and I hope you found it to be helpful. Thanks for listening and watching, and if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to contact me at ray@realityfuturestrading.com. Thanks and have a great day.